And hello everybody and welcome back to beautiful Crown Falls as the city is taking shape. Well, we do have quite a lot of stuff to do with while enjoying also a beautiful view. So as we can see, well, the basic layout we have for the center, and well, we still do need a couple of other things now, especially the farmer expansion that I want to go for, and engineers. So there is another big project that we have at hand, and with that then finally the trains and the oil. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to actually expand now into this area. So I've decided that this spot here is nothing else than just normal people, right? I will have then the palace here, the town hall with the plaza there, the world fair, the scholar district, and we do need a zoo. So I think the zoo will be perfect then in this little spot though with the waterfall, because it, you know, resembles nature and stuff like that. And other than that, we can now continue here with some more buildings. So let's just do this real quick. And boom, there we have the basic outline now for this district. So we already have the school then as well. I don't need this school here then, which is far too way in the corner there anyway, right? So we might just use this space then for more buildings. And then we still have this whole district there that we can still squeeze in more buildings. Well, for that, and then we are already coming into the lumberjack huts there, so there is a bit of an ending there now for the expansion then. Yeah, another block has been built, so another district is then finished. We also will be using once again the fire brigade station or institute in this area too. And another thing here, we have the space for another sanatorium. I just absolutely love these buildings, so they just look fantastic. Oh boy, they're actually bigger than I thought there now. So we still need to get rid of a few more buildings here, so I'm just going to get rid of this one and of this one. The upside is though that we don't need that much space for hospitals anymore, right? So it's perfectly fine to just get rid of some of these buildings there, and boom, there we can squeeze it in. And I think this is going to look quite nicely then like this towards our scholar district that we have in this area, right? So having it like this, perhaps wait a second, can we build, I think we should be able to build the university by now. That's the university. We of course have the scholar monument then as well that we need to squeeze in here, and I'm just using this one here as seeing how much space we need in this regard. That is fine. There's the power station, there we have the sanatorium, and behind it we are going to have then once again a little street there and a few more green areas. Should be fine. In that case, yeah, let's build the sanatorium right away. It's quite expensive actually. It's going to provide us with a lot of additional hospitals, well, doctors, and there we're going to have the street again. Also the street going out here. And you know what, let's also get rid of that house there. And perhaps these houses there. I don't know, perhaps we'll squeeze something in. We are going to be thankful for all the free space that we're going to have here, since these houses will be skyscrapers later, and they're going to use a lot of space, right? So we do need to be careful about that. Also these houses there, and the houses of course around the sanatorium, which is more or less our powerhouse. I'm not entirely sure about this block here yet, so we might just have some big buildings there as well, right? And of course downtown Crown Falls, which we have here, and there the harbor area that I will probably also fill with some houses. But enough talking, let's go down to the action. We have the marketplace and the pub as always, and then we can just squeeze in, yep, about these houses here now, right next to the industrial district. And as always, a lot of fun. Let's also build the fire station there right away. This beauty, and look at that. Without having any monuments, we already have some very nice landmarks there in the city of Crown Falls as well. I will still need the church. We have the church, the school. We have the school here. This is a bit too close, so I'm going to have the school perhaps a bit further down here in this area, right? So that we can still squeeze in a nice little school. And then we might just use a church here. So the church is going to have then this whole block there and also these buildings there. This should work, right? So I'm going to get rid of these houses there. And what is going on here? Oh, there's the Harvest Festival right now in Crown Falls. So the Harvest Festival gives me some bonus attraction. It also gives me some bonus happiness and income on my houses. And it, well, affects all crop farms for productivity plus 50%. Unfortunately, we don't have really that many crop farms here, but it is producing extra rum, champagne, cigars and chocolate for me. So there is a few more resources coming in. And we have broken through 40,000 in the population there as well. Happy to say. Let's just build the school now. In this area there too, just, yeah, like this. So we have a nice little entrance there to the school. And here we might then just have a big church as well in this district there. We can even squeeze some houses in there as well. Let's just have a look at the grand scheme. And yes, as we can see, once we have the paved roads, then we can definitely affect a lot of people with that. There it is. And I can still squeeze in 2 more houses behind it. And then we might just have some smaller ornaments here once again to just beautify this one with some apple trees just behind the cemetery. So, you know, you can just enjoy a juicy apple juice with some, well, corpse taste to it as well if you want to. In this area, I really want to finish off this area there too. So we still have the marketplace there. So I should still really put some more houses there. And since it's rather easy, it's a bit further outside, you know, we can use a bit more space between the houses there, because it's not that close anymore to the rest of it. And of course also just beside the fire station, I'm also going to squeeze in a few more houses there, and I'm pretty sure, yep, that I can do it here too. And as we can see, we're getting now close to the lumberjack huts, so I should be careful about that. Boom, there we do have even more houses once again. Let's just build all of them to also finish this district there. And as we can see, those people will have a beautiful view, at least over a few parts of the city there, as we can see it with the edge there as well on this fine day indeed. And I gotta say, these sanatoriums look monumental at the moment, because we have nothing in its surrounding area that is bigger than that yet, but they're coming. They're coming out, all of them. Now, there we still have a few more houses. I might just build these houses like this, or as intended, I might also just get rid of these buildings then to build a few more densely populated skyscrapers. One problem we have before we want to go to engineers is my steel beams production. In this production, we have 4 steelworks at the moment working here in the industrial district, in the industrial zone. And by the way, the site is just amazing how far you can see. Absolutely fantastic. I can see the buildings up there. And yeah, we do need more steelworks. First of all, I'm producing a lot of steel. It's probably not really visible here, though it is, with +7. And I'm pretty sure that we have a lot of steel in storage we have. So using that for some of those steelworks might be a good idea. Even though I said that I would not be using more steelworks, I just need to. Especially for the stuff that is ahead of us. We are going to have a railway system soon, and that takes a lot of steel as well. So I really want to push that. And we're going to have a few more of these steelworks up here. So this is where we can squeeze in another one. We might actually be able to squeeze in 2 here. It's a bit of a tricky stuff there with the grid-based layout, but we might also just do it like so. Having another warehouse then here in the center, or well, here around that. There we have the train, don't forget that, so this is not your normal usual train, track. And there we have 2 additional steelworks. Of course, this is pushing once again the attractiveness downwards there quite a lot. At the moment we have quite a nice town, I guess, so we are a curious city thanks to the festival, but once that is over, we're going to go back right into the mud of it all. And boom, there we also have now this district a bit overhauled. So we have a few more densely populated buildings here as well. After all, this is the center. Now, one thing, let's just check the artisans there real quick. As we can see with the artisans now, they have everything they want, right? So basically, we could upgrade now. All I need is a university. Now, universities will require quite a lot of space again. They're beautiful buildings though, so we should find them suitable locations. First of all, there we have one. I think that is just fine for this whole area there, right? So here I'm getting rid of those artisans there, and just between the church, or just beside the church, we're going to have our first university district, or our first university just squeezing in there. It's really cool because it just has the same space requirements than a normal block, right? So it's just easy to place it in there, and that's exactly what we do. Just beside the main road, we have now the university then also situated here, where we also have the parade, which is, I think, just ending here now by the church, right? So they are just finishing parading and going right into the mass and just going to pray for their good deeds there. This is the first university. We are going to need quite a few of them though, right? So this one here, keep in mind with paved roads, we are going to have even more radius then. Then I might just have the next one here. There we have the industrial district, so I don't need to get too far down there. but I'm pretty sure that this should be fine then for this whole space, or we use this space here just behind the sanatorium. And by the way, the university looks like a dwarf in comparison to this sanatorium building. Having it here, or we might actually squeeze it in a bit more here in the center, like so, because then we would affect a few more people down there as well. So I'm going to get rid of this layout there, and we might then just squeeze in a university like so, so that we have then the entrance. And yep, it's about it. Let's build the universities. So there we got number 1, and there we got number 2. Also, they have new color variants. So this is the basic one, which is just the most beautiful one, I think, the deep red one. Oh, and there is the process. It continues now after the church. Visiting, it continues now. Perhaps we got a red church that we could use beside the university. I think the orange one is just as far as we can go here, right? Yeah, so let's just have the orange one. It does look a bit similar to that, and just look at how beautiful these houses become. We're also going to have a little paved road there around it, so that it looks a bit more civilized. And we also have the parade music just passing by, right here in the district. Keep in mind that the marketplace and the pub will now disappear then soon with the arrival of the engineers, and then we just have something else here as well. Now, I think it's about time to get our first engineers out here. As we can see, we want to upgrade. We do have a lot of artisans here that would like to upgrade, and let's get going. Let's get the first engineers right beside the university up and running, and thus we have reached the age of science and wonder. And now, kind of like the game really opens up from now on with the electrical power system and the trains. And there we have them. We could of course also change them in their appearance. And what is really cool, we can then also now go to the skyscrapers. So there we got our first one. It's a rather small one, right? We might just have a bigger one then right next to it. There we have another big skyscraper now just next to it. And there are a lot of variants of these beautiful buildings then that we're going to add to this game. Let's just have a few more of these engineers right next to the other engineers, so it makes sense, right? We've also finished now a quest from the queen there once again.
I know I couldn't.
And she wants now to become as the capital of culture. The queen is set on turning Crown Falls into a landmark of culture as well. And we also have reached the city stages of capital now with these new arrivals here appearing there in the town center. And New Hope for Lost Expedition, and with the engineers we've also unlocked the Arctic now, so we could also go to this new territory, which doesn't make that much sense yet having the Arctic unlocked, but we still have here. But Lady Faithful is introducing herself now to us, and it's just amazing how many things are opening up, even in the later stages of the game. So we have now the electrical power system, we have the train stations and the train system, there we got also the post system and the hotel system now. And keep in mind, these buildings are going to be beautiful, but first of all, what we need to do in order to achieve that, well, is to get concrete. And concrete needs some steel. We already have the steel up and running, but it also needs the limestone quarry. So in order to continue here with those buildings there, we are going to need limestone. Lucky us, we do have 3 limestone deposits in Crown Falls. The first one we already have over here, so I might just connect it there with the warehouse that we already built here. Also, a new expedition is available now, the Arctic, but we are not doing that. Let's just have a look there. Let's connect it with a paved road as well, so that it's optimal. And the limestone is working for us. So we're getting some cement out of this one now. It's only the first one. It produces every 30 seconds. So we can actually have 2 concrete factories for each one of these limestone quarries. And of course, well, we're going to build all of them right away. So there we got the next one. I just will need a warehouse here once again. There we also have the coal deposit. So, well, why not just use it there as well? Right next to it. And a third one, which is just over here beside the sink. And the sink will also need rather sooner than later. Let's just connect this one there too. It's really on the outside. And New Dawn for agriculture. We can also now use the tractors for our farms if we have the oil, that is.
To put theory into practice.
And the engineer asked you to trial tractors on a grain farm. Yes, well, we can accept this quest. We can do it later. As we can see, there it is now. If I just switch to that really quick over here, so there we have the grain farms then, and there is the tractor barn that I can now just safely squeeze into these spots that I've left open here everywhere, and then we can go with the farms. So it's all coming together there, all this planning over the years, it's coming together there. We still have one more limestone deposit. Let's just have this one. I think I've built it, and there it is now, but it still needs a connection. With all the quests coming in, it's very hard to keep track of that. And there we got now 3 of those limestone quarries. So theoretically, I could go up to 6 concrete factories now. And those, well, where should I have them? Of course, right here in my industrial district. We do have a bit of space here still in the center. I could also just have them a bit further outside, which makes more sense to me. So let's have these cement factories a bit further outside. There we have another trade union. Next to it, I'm going to place another warehouse because, well, we can. And then I'm going to add the first 4 of these cement factories, or concrete factories as they're called. And I can still squeeze in yet another one here then as well, just fine, if I want to. Of course, they require a few steel beams. I don't have that many steel beams yet, so in that case, this is how it's looking for now. And then the concrete is coming in. What we can do in the meantime, while we wait for a few more steel beams, is we can upgrade a few more farmers. We have a lot of farmers in Crown Falls right now, and well, we do want to upgrade them. They only cost me some timber, right? And there we have another full block of farmers that are becoming workers now. We might also do it here in the back, where we already have this new district now behind the palace. And also those guys here, right? So that's a lot of new workers coming in here. Workforce is still looking fine for that. It's really pushing the population there, so we need to be careful with upgrading so many blocks at once, because of course schnapps, work cloth, sausage, soap and bread consumption is going up tremendously with all of that. Let's also upgrade that warehouse while we are at it. We're also getting another quest here now from the residents. I think this might still be the artisan. Yes. Oh, for a taste of distant shores and foreign lips and on the elegant shadows of slender leaves. Still, I cannot leave my earthly prison to see that paradise, if only in a still picture. What?
Help! My brief candle extinguishes.
He wants me to take a photograph of Isabel Sarmento's lighthouse. Well, of course, nothing easier than that. Let's just do this real quick there. There it is, in all its glory. A beautiful sight in the morning, and let's submit that photo. Perhaps we get something out of it. We definitely get a newspaper edition out of it, and black powder fireworks we could use then in the town hall to affect the residents' happiness. Yep, this is something we might as well be doing then. Now, let's just switch back to Crown Falls real quick, because what we can see here now with the engineers is, beside that they want a lot of stuff and also happiness, they don't need a marketplace and a pub anymore. So in this regard here, I might then actually be able to squeeze in my variety theater, just like that, for this whole district here. And we can do the same thing over here then as well. So this is of course our primary objective right now. I do have a few steel beams again, so let's just build the first 2 concrete factories. Very good. And we are now starting to produce the reinforced concrete, and we are going to need a lot of that. Right, with all the upgrading and stuff like that happening in Crown Falls right now, one important thing is that we still have a whole other city, right? Karreth, our farmer city that is coming up. Because in the well, short term we are not going to have, or middle term, we are not going to have any farmers anymore in Crown Falls. Workers is going to be the minimum, perhaps a few farmers here and there outside, but that's it really. So we are going to need a farmer village there as well, and this is just the perfect one for it. We do have quite a lot of timber here. Do we have? I think we don't even have a timber production yet on this island. Nope, we don't. So this might be also one of those things that I should be pursuing. There we got the oil patches. I need to be careful, so we do need a train then of course going out there, or I'm just using that for some plantations here, because grain is something in Karreth that we will need as well. Let's just see out here. That's a space that I'm not going to need for quite some time, so we might just build the road then all the way now to that warehouse there. And around here we're just going to have then some of these lumberjack huts, right? I don't need that much here, right? So I think 3, a maximum of 4 might be all I need for now. And that's it. And then we just can build it, those ones and those sawmills there, and they're going to work for me now. And that is fine, so that we can continue upgrading here the town of Karreth. Right, and of course a commute pier will also be interesting now. Even though they cost a lot, we should have a new commute pier now with the engineers. And there it is, and it's a bit cheaper. It only costs 1000 credits, so that is still a bit high, but it's better than nothing. And we also got a new quest, and this is the engineer quest. Everywhere I go, people seem to look through me, and this is an enigma. So this is a quest, this is a riddle. And answer the enigma by clicking the requested building. And what commodity is so transparent that you can see right through it? That is rather easy, I should say, and it's glass. And I hope I remember where I have my glass, and there it is. Is it not? It's not the glass maker, then it's the window maker. There we got the window makers. Let's click on that, and that was the quest. Very good. Let's just see what reward we get out of it. And as we can see, we still have lots of space here for... Oh, optician, spectacle factory, workforce needed minus 20%. Not very powerful, though we can still sell it then as well. One thing that I need here, I can see that hops is rather low, and malt we should have, but I do need more grain. Right, so of course we do have some grain farms here already, and by the way, this one is lacking a little road there, a little mistake on my part. And now let's just go back for the grain and for the oil. This is where Karreth comes into play. So here we can also start with our grain plantations then, and I'm just going to use this layout here once again like we did with previously. So all I really need is having those farms then here, like, yeah, let's just copy the whole farm layout there, like we have it like so, and then I can just place them here somewhere. Now of course they're going to need a lot of space once they're upgraded with the oil, so we don't have, well, we don't have space everywhere for them. I might actually place them like this, so we still have some room here. Beef, however, I also need a bit of more space, right? So for now, let's just absolutely make sure and build us the next cattle farms right here. We might also squeeze in some more cattle farms down here, and we might actually build a few more of them up here then as well. But we are not going to need more cattle farms than that, because as I said, cattle is going down at some point, right? So I might actually use the warehouse here, and I might use another warehouse up here. Right, and then we can actually squeeze in these grain farms here again. And boom, we also have the flour mills now right next to all the ranches here. So this is how I would like to do it. And this is actually looking quite idyllic then, once we have the farms and everything set up. Here, as I said, I'm not entirely sure how many fields we'll need once we place the tractor barns on it. So our next major goal is, of course, now to go for the oil, so that I can build that, and then we can see how many grain fields we really need before I finally build it. Because don't forget, we cannot replace, or we cannot you know, move them, those buildings then. So in this regard, I don't know, do I need that much or do I need that much? It's a bit hard to tell really. We might just make a guessing game out of it and place it here and then just remove them again. I would only lose a bit of timber, so it would not be the worst thing in the world, though it's not a very clean way. So far so good.